Right, welcome to the next episode of the Ordinary Bikers podcast. I'm off camera today. I'm going to be doing the asking the questions and leading the catch up. I'm here today along with previous participants that you already know. Davo, Big Benz, Little Benz, and we're also joined by long-time friend and fellow biker, Al Percival.
Hello.
So today's theme is around the jump from being a road rider to a club racer and how that came about. So we're going to talk about those days and the experiences and the challenges that had back in the day. So Al, as with the other podcast, I'd like to start by talking about how you got into biking, some of the bikes, your experiences, just so everyone can get up to speed about your back catalogue, shall we say?
My back catalogue.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Bit about biking history. My first experience on a motorbike, you can call it that, was a rally wisp at the age of about 8, I think. I would have been about 8 years old, I suppose, and my brother had one for some unknown reason. I can't remember why now, but anyway, my dad had bought it for him because my dad used to ride bikes to and from work, and so my brother gave me a go on this little rally wisp up and down. We had some private land where we lived, and it was just twisting going, But that was it for me, really. I loved motorbikes.
It's a rally wisp. Is that a bicycle?
It's basically a bike, 14-inch wheels with an engine in it, strapped in it. I mean, Google it, and it's just a rev and go. They are literally, when you look at them, it looks just like a rally bike, but with this little engine stuff on it, and or in it rather, and yeah. But then from there, I bought my first motorbike when I was about 14. Proper bike. What I say that proper bike? It was a BSA Bantam. It's not a proper bike, is it? But I had a BSA Bantam, which was done for the field, so big long shock absorbers on it, and an up and over exhaust, and as best as you could. After changing spark plugs on that every day for about a year and a half, something like that, it was time to go on the road, which I didn't want to do at the time, but I decided I'd do it with a Puck 50, a Puck M50, little orange Grand Prix 50s, great little thing to tell you, it really was. And then I had a Casal. That was quick for a 50.
Some exotic stuff.
Oh yeah.
No fizzes.
No, and I went from a Casal, get this, to an ER50, which was restricted. So I went from one of the fastest mopeds that Casal was brilliant, just blow up all the time, but
Something you can jog faster on.
to an ER50, which yeah. But then I went TS125, took my test back in the days when basically you went around the block, and as long as you didn't run the examiner over, you were fine. And then on to bigger bikes, and straight onto a 550, and then rest is history, isn't it?
Right. So how did you end up being on a racetrack? How did that materialise for any of you really? Because it's riding on the road is one thing, but actually getting on a racetrack and being committed to something like that, because we're not talking your road bike, you're going out on a race bike. How was that come
You'd be
about?
first out of all.
It was the first one. So it was 1993 when I first started racing.
That's because you're old.
Yeah, I was 23, something like that. So I'd always been into racing, just from the first podcast. So Barry Sheen,
Right.
then into the 80s, it was sort of Do and Schwantz, rainy era.
Yeah.
So always into it, always wanted to do it. Started work, left uni, started work, got some money, went down the poor car route. Spent all my money on racing and got KO1S in 93. Did 2 years on that.
Was the trailer first, or was it in the back of the car?
No, I was in the back of a maestro.
Although there were lads that turned up with bikes in the back of estates.
I got it home in the back of the maestro,
Yeah.
but yeah, I didn't go racing with
Matt Brown used to. Do you remember Matt?
Yeah, a tiny
he used
little van,
to carry his around. Well, he'd put one in the back of the car as well. Once,
Yeah, he did.
to get himself to the circuit. Yeah, ZX-R 400 in the back of the car.
it. Yeah. Maestro that got me around just about, trailer, tent, and KO1S. It was a decent KO1S at the time. It was quick, and finally did that, living the dream, and went on the track. So I think
Did you do 3 seasons?
did 2 seasons,
2 seasons.
and then went on, had a rest, then did 2 seasons with you on the RGV, and then I did the 600. So it was my
Yeah.
sort of career. But yeah, it was first outing at Snetterton, 1993.
I think out of the 3 of us, I was probably next.
Yeah, you were. 'Cause I didn't
90,
start until 2003.
97 I started, so, but you weren't racing when I
You started
started.
in 96? Oh, no,
No.
it was 97, wasn't it? 98 was
97.
when I came back.
Yeah, so we spanned, no, Andy and myself spanned for Paul, which got us hooked, and then you stopped doing it, but then it
Yeah.
led me on to doing it.
Because I went away for a year.
You went away for a year to Taiwan.
You borrowed all
didn't
my
you?
stuff and broke it all.
Yeah, and
Came
then
back, it's just...
I, that's what mates do.
You lent his bike.
No,
No, it's
no, I got
Trying
my
to
own.
load other bits.
So I got a, I remember going to Wigan Three Sisters and
gosh.
met this lad who was racing. I think he was more bothered about having a little kiss and a cuddle with his girlfriend in the back of the van.
I wonder what you were going to say then.
Yeah. And it was a bright
Another
orange
one of them.
1992 RGV 250N, the one with the gold forks.
Oh yeah.
But it was consider it was only 5 years old. It was a bit of a dog. So and it was dog slow as well. It was standard RGV speed, but compared to everything else. But when you first go out there, I mean, we'll probably move on to this, but it's a whole new ball game. So that's where I was. I got that RGV, and then I think Al, then you what year did we meet?
I suppose what got me going was I did a track day actually in 2002, 2001, something like that I think it was, and or 2000, I can't remember anyway. And it was at Cadwell, and you know, it was basically right. I felt as though somebody had said to me
So
actually,
you had all the road bikes and got...
"Oh, I'd had all the road. I was on a 996,
Yeah.
996 SPS.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's a great bike. I started at Mallory a couple of months later, but anyway.
On a track day.
Yeah, and that was at the point really where I decided, actually, it's pointless chucking up in the air 15 grand's worth of motorbike and watching it sail back down and cost you loads of money. So you know, if you're going to do this, do it properly and go racing. I'd only done 2 track days, but I kind of, you know, as you say, you know, don't you?
Yeah.
You think right, and then of course the initiation into racing was a totally different thing, but yeah, that's what got me into it, and it was
29 other nutters.
yeah. Well, I spent the whole of the summer of 2002 sort of looking at what I wanted to do and being convinced to do 400s, and then March 2003 was my first one.
And I suppose for all of us, this is the point. When you first go racing, well, we're going to get into this probably, but you think you're fast on the road, don't you?
Oh yeah. What do you think you're fast on the track, don't you?
Yeah, and then you get out there and you're one of the slowest out there.
You get annihilated and you go,
Yeah.
right, maybe not then.
So what was going through your mind on that first day, that first time on the grid? You know, you've got a light about to go out and you're gonna, you know, go for it. What's going through your mind at that point on your first day riding and racing against others? You know, you've been on the road, you know, pottering along, you can go fast through the twisties, but here you are with 25, 30 other blokes or people, and you know, you're gonna go
Those
for
not
it.
even nutters. Yeah.
Maybe
I think-
more
I think
recent for you, but it was a long time ago. My first one. It is hard to remember, but you're just buzzing.
Yeah.
In a kind of slightly scared way.
Yeah.
And there's so much going on around you, and when the lights go green, you
don't
stop
get
worrying,
anything else, do you?
and
Yeah.
you're just there, aren't you? You're just surviving, going for it, working it out.
I can go
See how
back
you
one.
go that
I can
first
go
race.
back one stage further actually, John, because I remember doing a test day. I think you might have come with me, Andy. We went on a test day, so this was like a month before my first race. And I did it. It's an ACU license open pit lane test day.
Yeah.
Do you
Like they
remember
used
those?
to do. Well, they used to do them at Mallory, didn't they?
Yeah.
Pembroke.
Yeah,
I did one at
They
Pembroke.
weren't track days, were they? They didn't call them track
No,
days.
because you
You
couldn't
had
go
to
on
have
a
a
road
licence.
bike. You had to have a license.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have a race
So
license.
mine goes back a month before my first race, and I did this test day on damp track, never ridden the bike before, and I remember going into what in the end of my racing career was my favourite corner, Coppice at Cadwell,
Oh yeah.
start finish straight.
Yeah.
And I remember going into there, I must have braked and gone down to about third gear, and then John Reynolds came past on his Gixxer Thou in the wet. It was basically wet, and it went round the outside of him, and like I nearly jumped out of my skin. So I think that was my first experience on track. Never mind
So I
first
had-
race.
Mine was similar before my first race at
Mm.
Snetterton, and it was McElnay and Whittam on the Fast Orange.
Testing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember that test there.
Yeah, so you've had a very similar experience there, haven't you?
The end of the back straight.
Yeah. But then, yeah, first
Break,
I
and then
just
they don't.
They don't. Yeah.
I distinctly remember it wasn't my first race, but by the end of the first day, my third, because in them days you had 3 races a day when we started. You might not have had that.
Well, no, we did, because if you remember, Derby Phoenix used to run 2 on the Saturday and then 3 on the Sunday, didn't they?
Yeah. So like equal practice.
Yeah. They started adding a race.
But New Era we started with, they had 3 on each day.
Did they?
Yeah.
Gosh.
So it wasn't my first race, John, but it was my third race. I got goosed to the gooseneck, which a lot of people have had. You just basically, which means if you ever ridden around Cadwell, we've all done Cadwell, and you've got to stay out really wide till what you think is way too late when you first get there. And I turned in too early, straight across the grass, off, bike tumbled on the far side, and that was the end of my first race day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now mine was Pembrey, and
Did it rain?
no, it didn't actually. No, and I remember I went for the practice day the day before, and went round. I was staying in hotels that time.
Cat
Wow.
996.
Yeah. Posh kid.
So I was there with me.
Caravan van,
I was there with my hire van.
2 bikes.
And
hire van.
Yeah, I was there with my hire van, and I was just naive, I suppose. And of course, I turned up
You're forced to nick it out front.
expecting that people would be in motorhomes and things like that. No, not a chance. Of course, they're all in tents, aren't they? And sleeping in the back of vans and all this sort of thing. So I decided that I wanted a bit of luxury because it might be my first and last race, and so we got a hotel down the road. But I pitched up in the morning, and yeah, of course, your very first race as well of the season, always at club level, was always a lottery, wasn't it? It was how quick you got your entry in.
Yeah.
So I was kind of, I don't know, 20 something on the grid, something like that, and got my bib on, and of course, as you say, you've never experienced. I don't know if they give you some practice these days, but you've never experienced being in a grid with 39 other people
Waiting for the lights.
that want to head for a hairpin.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do at Pembrey, and it's
Yeah.
straight into the hairpin.
Straight to hairpin, yeah.
And it ain't very far either, so you're all really bunched up together. But like you say, and it was the same actually throughout all the racing I did, was that in the holding area, your nerves are going like mad.
Yeah.
You've been for your pre-race pee, but your bladder still wants to do something. And
Only
it's
a
still,
pee.
Yeah. Well, your nerves are going like mad. You go around the corner, you get on the grid, you do your warm-up lap, you come back, and actually for me then it was then the nerves fell away.
Yeah, you didn't
So,
notice it by the time you
By
come
the
to
time
start
you come
finish.
back round to the start
Yeah.
finish, you're on the grid, you're just thinking, right, let's get
Concentrate,
the bike set up.
Your adrenaline's up.
You
Yeah, you need that to
concentrate,
get
your
all-
adrenaline's
You've
going.
got something to think about. haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the lights go.
You're focused, aren't you?
It's just all hell.
Yeah.
All hell there, isn't it? Yeah.
And is that at the moment when you know that you're hooked, this is what you want to do?
For me, I think what happened was that I did that race, came back, and I finished, I don't know, something like 23rd or something like that, because all of a sudden, like you say, you realise that you're not that quick.
What was the bike out, by the way?
It was an NC30, little VFR 400, and it was.
You're also battling with other people, aren't you? So
Well, you are.
your first race is after you, sir. No, after you.
Yeah.
I just want to get round.
Yeah.
I don't want to fall off.
Yeah, you've been doing it a few years, and there's none of that. It's not killing.
Yeah.
But it was, I came in and I came back to the tent and I went, want to do that again now?
Yeah.
Just the buzz, the sheer buzz.
Adrenaline rush is like nothing you've ever had before.
Nothing else, is it?
Yeah, amazing.
I think it's just that you've got nothing coming the other way. There's riding on a track and there's racing, and they are different.
No, they
But on a track, you've got low lampposts. You can just push it a bit more, can't you?
Yeah.
With a little bit more freedom, if you like. But it is just like what you can do on the bike, then, isn't it? You're not worried about traffic. You're not worried about cars, policemen.
Kids.
You can just give it what you can, and you see what you can do. But then racing's that is a different thing. The
It
racing
is,
bit
it
is
is.
on top of that.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So what bikes did you have, and and what classes did you compete in? Did you race together?
Well,
Yeah,
have
you
we
and I
all
raced
been in
together.
the same race together? That's a good point.
No, I don't think so. No, because
No.
you were doing 600s when I was doing 400s.
Right, so we're all Formula 400, weren't we? So 252 strokes, 400, 4 strokes, and they're similar in speed, aren't they?
So
The
class
fast
was-
400s
class was
were always
Formula
a bit-
400, wasn't it? When I started,
Yeah.
the 400s weren't really there. But when we were racing, they were
Yeah.
bikes to average.
And a fast 400 was faster than a fast 250.
Oh
Wasn't
gosh,
it?
yeah.
But an average 400, a 250 was probably
good
quicker
250 would be.
because you could get in the corners and
Yeah.
faster. Couldn't
Yeah.
you? And you only ever raced 4 strokes, haven't you?
I did, yeah, I never raced 4 strokes. I mean, I don't know, I would have wanted to race a 2-stroke. Something like an RS 250 or a TZ 250.
Pure.
Well, you weren't championship
Yeah,
winning when you
yeah.
started, did you?
But, yeah, I was, it was only ever 4 strokes.
Yeah.
So did you
And
just
so-
race against each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, anytime.
You and I didn't we?
No, because I think I was on. I had another rest and then I had my 600 for a couple of years.
Yeah, but when I did 600s, though, you
I'd stopped.
you packed in. Yeah, you packed in.
So I've had an RGV, that one I mentioned earlier, and then I had a little bit of a hiatus for a couple of seasons, and then I came back and bought a championship winning Aprilia RS 250. The season
Nice
before
one,
it,
that was.
it had won Derby Phoenix F400, believe it or
Did
not, on a 250.
Oh.
It was Matt. He was a lad from Yorkshire. I can't remember his surname, but he won the Formula 400
Right.
on an RS 250. So it ran 100% av gas.
Yeah,
and official, yeah. And it was a missile.
high octane.
It was
high
quick.
octane.
Yeah. So
You weren't allowed to run out of gas.
Shopping about now.
no, I think you were in.
No,
You were in Derby
No,
Phoenix.
when you were.
Remember
Yeah.
I was there.
No, you were in Derby Phoenix.
I think you were.
Maybe it
in
was New
full-
Era, then we were against it.
So
But
you.
you needed
Yes, because
everything.
New Era was Super Sport 400, not
That's right, not Formula.
But you needed everything. You needed everything out of those.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't run avgas,
Checking your squish.
it'd have
have
melted.
gas.
Yeah, it was all set up when I bought it. I think it was doing like 72 horsepower, which is ridiculous for a 250.
Yeah.
On the dyno.
Just got Barton Airfield, didn't we?
Yeah, and then yeah, further afield than that.
Jerry cans in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to fill the plane up.
So you've had a KR1S.
Back an old jerry can.
Yeah. You've had your KR1S, and then when you came back in, was it
Had a nice
98?
RGV.
Yeah,
It must have been 98,
when we
99.
raced. 98, 99, yeah.
And then CBR 600.
Yeah.
Fuel injected.
And I'll
I
you've got
was
along the list.
NC30.
Yeah,
Started on that. I only did one season on that. It was pretty much bog standard. To be
Yeah,
fair. So
just
the
to
next
get
year,
Find
it's
your
just to
people,
get me going.
That's what you need,
then
though, when you start
It was,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, because you could just push the button and go.
Yeah.
And then I had an NC35 that was a Ricky Liddy motor I'd had done, and that was great.
and that's when I
That was
met
when I
you.
won. That was when I won the championship.
Yeah.
That second year I had that.
That's
and
where
then-
we're going.
And then I bought, I went 600s.
Mm.
So I had an R6, 2005 R6. Then I had 2006 R6. And I ran those two for a while, if you remember.
I remember
because
that, yeah.
I went and did British as well, didn't we, for a bit.
Yeah.
And then dropped back down to 400s and ZXR.
Mm.
And that was a trick
Oh,
ZXR.
right. So you ended up on the 400.
I ended up back on 400s because 600s had got quite expensive.
Yeah.
And it
I
was
running full
mental.
super sport motors.
It was mental on it.
I was running full super sport motors and trying to compete at British with no money. It's just a joke, really. So you know, either turn up at a club meeting and you'd be like, fantastic, well I can win, but so what?
Yeah.
Or you go to British
Fish in a bigger pond and
and you'd spend £1,000 a weekend on tyres and still
not
be
make the top 10.
which is well, no chance.
And the irony is they brought out that Thunder Sport, which was in between after that,
Yeah,
didn't they?
yeah.
Which you'd have been ideal for, wouldn't you?
It would have been good, to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I did a fun sport round in 400 actually.
Yeah.
It was good. That.
You did have to be committed to go racing, didn't you? You had to want to go racing because the amount of money and the amount of
Time.
It's all I used to
amount
think
of
about.
time. Yeah.
For 3 years when I first
I
started,
could only do 2 seasons at a go.
all I thought about was racing.
Oh.
Every bit of overtime at work, going to the bike, everything. And it's, you know, I mean, we're probably going to move on to this, like commitment of it, but
There was quick lads out there but didn't have the preparation.
Mm.
And
Well-
they turn up and the engine would fall out.
You mean
or
like
something.
Dan-
You mean like Dan?
Dan Williams?
There was no
Bless him.
sticky.
Sorry, Dan, you'll probably be watching
the
this
infamous
later, but-
Dan Williams,
Yeah.
fat, super quick, but his preparation was dog shit.
I always used to say, do you know what? He was quick, he was smooth, he
Yeah.
was fabulous, Dan. I mean, he's a great rider, isn't he? Let's face it. But yeah,
He was the-
It'd always be something on the bike, wouldn't it?
He was the
Meant to
Jorge
fix that.
Lorenzo of club racing.
He was, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Bless him.
I think, like you say, it is a commitment. It's not just turn up on a Saturday, load the van up on a Friday,
No.
and turn up. You know, there's that prep. that you've got to do beforehand. You know, the bikes you bought, were they bikes that you looked to improve? Did you do, you know, some mods yourselves, or was it like, you know, you bought a bike that was championship winning the year before?
That was after a lot of experience. But my first RGV was terrible. It was ratty. It was a dog. But yeah, you're right. You spend on it. So I think I'd done a year and a half, and then ironically, a guy in Warrington was selling Huxley pipes, which were kit copies, and a German ignition box, which was basically a kit ignition box. And I fitted them, and all of a sudden, you've gone from 20th, finishing 20th, to finishing nudging the top 10, because you've learnt the tracks. Your bike's a bit quicker, and it's a progression, isn't it? Al? You chip away at it, don't you?
I suppose at the same time you've also kind of started to manage that fear that what's going to happen in that first corner. You're not bothered about that anymore, are you? You're on it right from the off.
You know, I mean, for me, it was just to make sure I got to the front. That's all I wanted to do. Just hit the front.
Yeah, but fortunately for you, they were quicker than us.
If I was at the front, I was just waiting for.
Yeah. I mean, I was really good off the line.
Jump that flag.
I think
I was like that.
I think the first weekend I went racing, because it started the season, and you get a lottery for the grid, don't you?
That's right.
Yeah.
Guess where I was?
Pole.
Certainly front row.
With your bib on.
I'm just like, I just want this to be over.
Was that set?
I can imagine.
Yeah.
First.
Just let them go. Just let what was like. You don't want to stop on the line, obviously, but it's just like.
No, too right. Well,
yeah.
No, didn't you? Your 600. That was a pucker race bike, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was only ever been on the track. I got it from a guy. Used to like take all the ex-super sport and super bikes. And, like after a couple of seasons and move them on to club racing.
The trouble with that bike was it was a lovely bike, loads of power, but it was the end of the first era of injections, and then all the R6s came out and the CBR.
It was the start of injection.
That's right,
and
then
suddenly got a lot better. And I couldn't race it in the carburetted class.
And it got left behind very quickly, didn't it? Yeah.
It was one step on from the Steely, really, wasn't it?
But you couldn't race it in Steely because it was alley frame.
That was it.
Yeah.
The second RGV, the nice one, that was full kit.
Hammond tune, wasn't it?
Dave Hammond tuning down in Kent. So used to take it down there occasionally to tell me what I'd done wrong.
Yeah.
Plug a pipe in correctly after I'd rebuilt it.
Because I remember, especially at Snep, I think you were good at Snep.
Yeah, it was fast.
But I remember you could sail past me down the back straight, and I'd spend the whole lap trying to catch him up again, and do it all over again. Because you put more money into your bike than me.
I think that bike was nice.
Yeah.
It ran well. But that was pipes. But you're buying it's one thing, but then you got to keep it going for a whole season, haven't you?
Yeah.
While throwing it down the road occasionally.
But I did the opposite. I bought all mine as basically road bikes. My first one was a track bike. Somebody had stripped it all off and booked race fair.
But it had been registered.
But and then when I bought the 400, that was a road, the RVF rather, the NC35, that was a road bike, and I
converted it,
stripped it, and just, and then I wanted to do that with them all really, because I didn't trust them to be straight otherwise really, I suppose. So when I went to 600s, I bought brand new out of the showroom at the crate basically.
I remember your first one. What's the model? Was it a 5 something?
5E, no, hang on a sec, because 5SL I think, because it was the upside down fork.
Yeah.
The R6.
R6.
It was the last of the carb
shape,
ones, wasn't it?
No, it
was
was
injection.
Yeah, it was injection. But it was the last of the old shape before the 2006 cam.
Yeah, and it looked like an R1 then, didn't it?
That's right, yeah. And I bought that brand new, as I say, out the crate, and got it back home. I think I did a track down it first, just to spin the motor over, and then just stripped it and said, right. Didn't actually do much to the engine on that, just a mild tune on that one.
Was it Seaton who did your engines?
When I had the 2006 bike, Phil Seaton did
Yeah.
the motor on that, and that was a beast of a motor, that was. I mean, Phil didn't really make a good motor out of that. About 136 brake. It was unbelievably quick.
So did you take all the electrics off it, or did you just disconnect them?
I bought kit looms, because you could buy kit looms.
Did you sell the road stuff, or did you?
Yeah, I did. So because obviously it was brand spanking
Put back
new.
into racing.
Brand spanking new body kit really for an R6, and just I managed to flog it on eBay. And then I bought a road going ZXR 400 and did the same, stripped it and converted it. And, again, fucked some bits off. And Rich Bearcroft did the motor for that. And he really knew his stuff around ZXR 400 Rich.
A lot of it talks about the motors, isn't it? But the chassis was where I should have spent more time and energy.
Yeah. Well, again, spent a lot of money on chassis as well.
Well, I think this is the thing. I think Al, to be fair, you put more money in the right places, because we just jumped on doggy 250s and just had fun.
Check the
But
preload and that was it. Gone.
I'm pretty sure if I
trust in me half the time, which wasn't a good idea, was it?
I'm pretty sure if we'd put the same sort of, if we'd gone down the right direction like you did, Al, we'd have been a lot faster. Because I think both of us had reasonable bit of talent. Because we both won a race, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we couldn't have been rubbish, but we probably took a lot longer getting to that point because of naivety more than anything.
Learning to
learning to
spend the
massive
money
learning curve
in the right place.
Because you start and you really don't know a thing. All you know how to do is turn the throttle and change gears.
Put fuel in it.
Sort of thing. Put fuel in it, yeah. And the learning curve is massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you realise that going in a straight line is not the problem. Anybody can go in a straight line. It's actually coming to the corners and making it go around corners and when you come out the corner, when you open that again, is it going to grip or isn't it going to grip?
Yeah.
I love the lines as well. I love working out quick lines. And
How many sets of tyres did you use a weekend when you started?
Weekend?
I know.
You mean how many meetings?
I know. and then by the end of it,
I reckon we used to get through. It's probably like one set of tyres for at least 4 days of racing.
Yeah, at least 2 weekends.
4 days of racing.
4 days racing.
At least 2 weekends, probably 3 most of the time. Whereas you put, I know you put a new tyre on from Saturday to Sunday.
Sometimes, I mean, to be fair, when I was doing 400s, because they're a bit gentler, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I would make certainly a front would last all weekend. Sometimes a rear wouldn't. If I'd got the setup wrong and whatever, it'd chewed the tyre, I'd be looking at it and going, got to stick another tyre on it. But a lot of the time it was fine. 600 though.
Oh.
Particularly when we were doing British bends. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was crazy.
Best friends with the Pirelli man.
Yeah, well, you're doing a tyre every time you go.
Race.
Yeah.
And we were allowed qualifiers back in those days as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we'd get 2 laps out of it, So I remember they said to me, because again, big learning curve.
And how much was the tyre?
Well, about 200 quid. But then, the guys would say to you, look, because that's how I like to scrub it in, they'd say, no. You're using the top paddock, you can scrub it in by the time you get to Coppice.
Take the shine off it.
Through the, take the shine off it, yeah. So basically, but you come out the cafe, the top paddock, come out the top paddock, you go left, right, into the hairpin, the old hairpin, into Coppice, it's flat then, great. You have to go then.
It's telling your brain that you can do that.
Oh yeah.
It's having the
And that's
trust.
the biggest problem with using qualifiers actually, is getting your head around it, because you'd come in and you'd look at your lap time, be a bit better, and you're thinking, well, I could have gone a lot quicker, and it's actually recalibrating your head to go faster.
But isn't that's one of the things I liked about racing, but it's scary when you think about it. It's like last time I braked here, so I braked at like the 200-yard mark for the end of Stetson back straight.
Yeah.
But it's like I think I can do it a bit later, so I'll leave it another breath.
Yeah.
But then you leave it that little bit, you hit the brakes, and then you just like you don't know what's going to happen, do you? You are all you push it,
and then you get round.
You get round it. So next
and then
time,
next
well,
lap you go, I can go another
what
meter
is it?
later.
What is it in your mentality as racers that
Well, I'll tell you a
that
funny
takes
story.
that risk?
I was
Works out where to do it and is prepared to do it.
I was at Cadwell qualifying for British
Get the
Supersport.
gas a bit earlier.
And we'd been out on the Saturday, obviously qualifying. I think I qualified about 26th or 27th or something like that. And Dennis Hobbs, who was in the room for the championship that year, he high-sided, I think, at the bottom of Mansfield or wherever, and he broke his collarbone. Actually broke his collarbone. So I came out and I thought, well, that's good news, because I'm up one place on the grid.
That's all you're thinking, it.
Sorry, Dennis, if you're watching. But I thought, I'm up one place on the grid, fantastic. Anyway, the next morning, I was out for the warm-up. And obviously, warm-up, you're not going 100%, are you? But you're still going pretty quick. You still got to get in the mood for it. And so I think I'm on about lap 3, something like that, this warm-up session. And I'm going down the back straight, Park Straight, flat out, sit up to brake, whichever marker it was, because they do put the markers out for the British round there. And Dennis Hobbs, with a broken collarbone, came past me on the brakes. Came past me on the brakes, and I thought,
He's got a broken collarbone.
how the hell's he doing that? He didn't actually race because it hurt him too much.
Too much pain.
He was in
Just
too
checking
much
it out.
pain. But he actually
was still
kept
laughing.
on the brakes. And he's probably still laughing at me, yeah. But I mean, it's just staggering, isn't it?
But I think that is those little. That's the difference between racing and just riding around on the road or track days, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're following up, you're chasing someone else, so you get on the gas a bit earlier because they did, and you're just trying to line it up for the next corner.
Yeah, that's what makes you do it.
Puts you
It's
into a
those
different
faster
zone.
races bring you on.
Yeah, you do, because you latch onto the shirt tails of somebody who's faster than you.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you've knocked a second off your best lap or
Yeah.
whatever, don't you?
Yeah, I remember chasing Alex Hutchinson and Alex Eaton in the Thundersport GP2 class, and those lads were quick. And Alex Eaton was on a Ducati 800. It was all packed to weight in the GP2, so you could. And Alex Hutchinson was on a ZXR 400, 440, I think, or whatever. But anyway, those lads really quick. And all of a sudden, yeah, again, it's one of those recalibration moments. That's the fastest I've ever ridden around Cadwell, was chasing those.
What time do you do on?
37 point something, 37.8 I think it was. 137.8.
42.5 I did.
Yeah. I won the race.
Well, that's good to know.
Thank goodness. But I tell you what, I never
work.
rode that fast again around there.
Oh, that's fast, that.
They were quick lads.
Anything sub 140 was quick round Cadders, but they moved it on again then, obviously, when I stopped.
Yeah.
Technology must have come on a bit, even on older bikes.
Well,
Tyres, I suppose.
it's tyres, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh, that's it, tyre technology, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure now.
Didn't have tyre warmers when I started racing.
Did you?
Not as.
When did wets kick in?
Yeah, didn't have wets.
Yeah.
I didn't have weights when I first started.
So my plum pudding
Wow,
race,
yeah.
my Mallory plum pudding race when it was frosty.
Yeah, but you needed ice
Tyre warmers.
Frosty, no warmers, on wet tyres. How did you stay up?
Just don't go very quick. They just sent the,
Followed the ambulance
sent the
round.
ambulance out, sent the St John's ambulances out
To
to
warm
clear
the
the
track.
frost off the track.
Crazy.
Technology was.
Yeah, type technology is a massive thing, isn't it? And that's in every class in motorsport, isn't it, really? Whether it's cars or bikes. I mean, you look at MotoGP bikes now, and yeah, they're quick, but they've always had the power. It's just putting it on the road.
They've got ample power, haven't they?
Yeah, oh, crikey, yeah. But they're getting the lean angles and they're getting the power down because the tyres are better, aren't they?
And the aero now.
And-
MotoGP.
Yeah.
It's hard to get
Yeah,
your head around,
there's a
isn't
lot to it, isn't there?
And ride out devices.
That's another,
We're getting
that's
distracted.
another
Yeah.
podcast.
That's another podcast. It's club racing we're talking here. Come
Yeah.
on.
So what was the biggest difference? Was it the rider or was it the bike?
Now that depends really. I mean, you say the rider.
Yeah. Well,
I think
I'd say
well,
it's both.
well, yeah.
You can
I'd
have
say-
a good ride on a bad bike, an average bike, and they do alright. But to win, I think you have to have both.
Well, yeah.
Win repeatedly, you have to have
Money
both.
and
Money
where to
helps.
spend it was a
Money
club.
helps with
I would
the-
say it'd go in this order, wouldn't it? Slow rider on fast bike would be last.
Yeah.
Fast rider on slow bike would be next. Fast rider on fast bike would win. And that's about it, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I remember Dan Egerty.
Yeah, God bless him, yeah.
Yeah,
Bless him.
yeah, and you know Dan was fast. Right?
He was, he was.
really
Because
good.
he used to do some 400 races on that.
He
Mark
did well.
Jordan,
He
on the
Mark
KR1S.
Jordan's KR1.
Yeah.
I was about to
And that was a good bike.
because I remember being in a race with him and a few of the others. And I forget what year it was now, but anyway, we were. I think it was 2009 because I just started back on a 400, and I was going around Cadwell doing probably 139, something like that. And the next thing is,
You see how he pulled his face at 139 then?
well, because I was still trying to get the bike. I was still trying to get the bike dialed in. I didn't realise that the steering head was loose on it, and that's what's it was honestly. The marshal, the scrutineer was going like that. He went, "You realise your steering head's?" I raced it most of the season.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
Sorry about that. And anyway, Dan Egerty came past me. I was still going quick, even then, you know, trying my hardest on this thing. And Dan Egerty came past me on that KR1, scraping everything around church into gooseneck, and I just made me laugh because I just thought, crikey, that you know,
That's
a
where you can
fast
take
rider
it. Yeah.
on a. But Mark's wasn't a slow bike, was it?
No,
it
it
was
was
an
a-
average bike.
It was a quick bike for a 250.
But that's a
Yeah.
slow rider making an
Yeah.
average bike.
Yeah, I
work
guess you never
really well.
never really. I mean, did we feel the limit, or was it a little bit of trial and error while you sort of found it a little bit, and then you'd have a scare and back off a little
I
bit?
guess
In top,
a top rider. So if you put Marquez, who's the best in the world, isn't he? If you put him on our RGV, he would probably knock 8,
Yeah.
10 seconds
So
off
find
on,
the
that-
limit,
on the same bike.
and then they'll just play
And
with
they
it.
just they go until they're sliding,
Front
and then they back it off, don't they? And then,
Because
yeah,
usually
that's
when
just
when
talent.
I slid it, that was it.
And don't,
That's enough.
and don't forget,
Okay,
They
don't
do.
do that again.
don't forget they do tens of thousands of kilometres on track every year. We do it every third weekend for 20 minutes at a time,
Yeah, we're paying for it.
and we're paying for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure if we rode 20,000 kilometres a year on track, we'd be fast.
But I did work out in my first 2 years when I raced. I worked out I was quick, but I also worked out I wasn't going to make a living out of it.
Oh mate, I had no illusions of that.